Hello, I'm Cadbury Morris and I'm here today to talk to you about something that I just witnessed. It's the WCPW PPV Refuse to Lose. Refuse to lose. Refuse to lose. Refuse to lose. Bit of an odd title, doesn't quite rhyme, but you know, these things take time, you know. So yeah, I decided just on a whim that I was gonna. I've been watching what culture stuff on YouTube for a while now, and I kind of like these guys. I think that they're doing a good job. I think that, you know, it's bold what they're doing, considering that WCPW didn't exist. I don't think this time last year there was WCPW. I think they're doing something really bold. Based in Newcastle. Up in the north of England. So they decided to hold this pay-per-view. I decided to order on a whim. So I sat there with a big bag of Doritos and a king-size chocolate bar, which I no longer possess either of. They went. And I sat down to watch the pay-per-view. I ordered it, clicked on it, and sat back. Yeah, okay. They had me straight away. So they had three commentators. They had the legendary Jim Ross. They had Jim Cornette, and they had Alex. If that wasn't enough, the kickoff was Bret the Hitman Hart. So this is a small company here. We're not talking about a massive pay-per-view. We're not talking about tens of thousands of people filling a monster arena. And this is a small pay-per-view by a small company in comparison to the WWE. It's a very small event, you could say. But the fact that they had JR, the fact that they had Jim Cornette, the fact that they had Bret the Hitman Hart there, and this was to start off the show, and then all of a sudden out comes SoCal Val. I'm all on board. I'm all on board. Now, were there problems with this pay-per-view? Yes, there were. There were problems with the sound levels. There was problems with any time that they cut to a VT, that you would just lose the first 4 to 6 seconds of sound, and then it would cut back in. There was a bit of a delay in the queuing as well, you know, so it would go from one to like the VT or something, and it would just take time. These are niggly things, you know, things like the ring ropes looked a little bit slack, and these are small little niggles. But the fact is, they put on this event. You had a triple threat match with Alberto, formerly Del Rio, now El Patron. It was a little bit funny because JR kept cocking up on the name, which was it's understandable, to be honest. You know, it's like muscle memory. You know, it takes a while to work that out of the system. Surprisingly as well for me, because I really didn't know who was on the card. You had a match between Doug Williams and Cody Rhodes. Come on, who are these guys? You know, to get these people on the card, just fantastic. You had who else was on the card? You had the women's championship match. I've got to be honest here, I enjoyed the women's match, but I don't know what the hell happened at the end. I don't know what happened at all. I don't know if she'd been knocked silly and that wasn't supposed to be the end of the match or what. I have no idea. It just seemed a little bit weird. You had a street fight match between Rampage and Adam Blampied. I knew going into that, just from the VT, I knew that there was going to be shenanigans, and that was fine. It was a good bit of fun. What else was there? There was a match for the WCPW Championship, and then there was the match between Joe Hendry and Kurt Angle. Now, again, Kurt, what the hell, like, you know, what the hell? This was practically in a sports centre, and you've got Kurt Angle, Cody Rhodes, Bret the Hitman Hart, JR, Jim Cornette. I mean, Christ, like. So yeah, the production of this seemed small scale, kind of sports centre-y kind of wrestling show, with at the same time big ideas, big matches, and you know, the cameras were a little too close for me. It was a little too, you know, tight. That's just a personal preference of mine. I'd rather be further back than tight in. And again, you know, the sound issues were a little bit of a problem, and the queuing issues were a little bit slack. But come on, these guys have been around, what, a year, and they're putting together a pay-per-view like this. I wish them all the best. I genuinely wish them all the best, because I sat through a 3-hour pay-per-view, not a 4-hour, a 3-hour pay-per-view. My bladder wasn't busting at the end. I had a good time. It was a good laugh. It moved at a very good pace. Jack the Jobber took a knock, a spear that looked brutal. Adam was humiliated and stripped and put through a table. There was a lot of good here. The right people were getting screwed over, if you know what I mean. You know, you screw over these people so that they've got something to build for to keep the story going, and I thought that was really done well. The only thing I thought might have been a little preferential to do would have been to have put the title match last and shoved the Kurt Angle match forward. I understand that, you know, Kurt Angle's the big draw here, and I mean, he certainly would be for me, and he's the guy you really want to put on the main event. But to me, you know, the main event really should be about the title, and so I would have put that last. People have already bought the pay-per-view, they've already paid their money, so that's the way I would have done it. There's nothing really bad I can say about this pay-per-view. I enjoyed the hell out of it. There were mistakes, there were small problems, there were small setup issues here or there. You know, sometimes the cameras were blocking and you couldn't see what was going on. That happens in the WWE. That still happens in the WWE. We're talking about a seriously tight-knit group of professionals here in the WWE. They still do it. So the fact that this company is doing it as well, and gets it wrong, and they're only just beginning. You know, this is the birth of what I hope to be a bigger company. But overall, I thought the pay-per-view was not just solid. I mean, the match between Cody Rhodes and Doug Williams, for me, it was probably the best match on the card. That's just a preference thing. I like Cody Rhodes. I like Doug Williams. So that for me is a preferential thing again. The match between Kurt Angle and Joe Hendry I felt was a little short, and it could have been extended a little bit, but do you know what? For what it was, for value for money, it was definitely worth every penny. Where does What Culture Pro Wrestling go from here? I think if, you know, they need to calm themselves a little bit, you know, not try to get in whoever they can. Like, for example, I believe next month they're getting in Matt Hardy. So I think they need to calm down a little bit. If they've got the money to do it, and these wrestlers are agreeing to do it, that's fine. But I think they should. They've had this big event now. It's time to calm it down, bring it down a little bit, and just sort of work it. You know, work the formula. Eventually, and I don't want to say this because I don't like the idea myself, but it is something I personally would do, and that is, eventually at some point they're going to have to bite the bullet, put nostalgia aside, use more common sense and less ego. They're going to have to do some travelling. They're going to have to start booking shows further afield. I know they're doing Manchester, but they're going to have to branch out and go a little bit further than that. And that to me leaves me to the conclusion that if you want the money, you need to go where the money is, and they're going to have to make the move to London. And I don't like saying that, because I think, you know, they've established themselves in Newcastle. That will always be their home. But again, if you want the money, you need to go where the money is. And London really is the place to do this. I'm not saying that they can't keep their HQ in Newcastle. That's fine. But you know, it's one of those things. I don't like saying it myself, but you know, places like Plymouth, Southampton, Cardiff, Brighton, even Liverpool. London is very central, and they've got good access roads. Now, obviously, yeah, you're cutting off the north there, but if you keep the offices in Newcastle, that's fine. We're talking about a bit down the line here. We're not talking about, you know, doing it by the end of this year. We're talking, you know, long-term projection here. So, but eventually that is going to happen. Anyway, point being is the fact that I wish these guys all the best, because I didn't know what to expect out of this pay-per-view. What I got out of it was good level of entertainment, good level of enjoyment, definitely value for money. I cannot wait to see what they do next. I do want them to use their heads a little bit now going forward and start doing house shows. I feel, you know, more frequently, you know, maybe just once a month or something, you know, do something in, you know, Cambridge or Glasgow, or you know, just so that you can build your fan base from the local area of the UK. But yeah, that's my thoughts on WCW Refuse to Lose. Odd title, very odd title. Let me know in the comment section if you saw the WCPW pay-per-view. And feel free to like, comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, or go over and join me on Google+. But until next time, I'll see you later, guys.